This video talks about the difference between Erb's versus Klumpke'S palsy. Now, Erb's palsy deals with C5 and C6, and Klumpke'S palsy deals with C8 to T1. Now, sometimes it could be a little confusing between Erb's and Klumpke'S. There are certain obvious cases, but there are other ones which can be a little confusing. So that's why I wanted to clear the differences between Erb's and Klumpke'S palsy. Now let's look at the first example that I have here. The first example says that a newborn is born at 42 weeks gestation, has an adducted and internally rotated shoulder with an extended elbow and pronated forearm. Now I would like to stop there and think about every single thing that this vignette is telling us. First of all, what is flexion and what is extension? If we draw an arm here, so imagine that this is our arm and these are our muscles. So this condition is flexion. And when we think about, what's an extension, we are obviously extending, putting our hand straight out. And you're thinking, I already know that. Why are you telling me what flexion, what an extension is? The reason I'm mentioning flexion and extension is because I want to talk about something called hyperextension. What is the difference between extension and hyperextension? Extension, when you just stretch out your hand, okay, that is extension. But then what is hyperextension? Hyperextension is a little different. So imagine that this is your head, your neck, and your shoulder. And you have your hand something like this above your head, okay? So in that position, you're still extending, but it's above your head. This situation is hyperextension. And understanding the difference between the two is very important. So let's go back to our vignette one more time. Here it says that the arm is adducted, so it's towards the body, internally rotated, and extended elbow and pronated forearm. If you internally rotate your arm, obviously that's going to be pronated. That's going to give us the pronated forearm. So basically you are bringing your arm close to your body. First, let's say you stretch out your hand, your arm completely up in the air, and you bring it close to your body and you rotate it internally towards your body. So that is the situation that we are talking about. This particular situation, would it be Erb's or would it be Klumpke'S? This would be Erb's. And the reason for that is this particular patient does not have the ability to supinate, does not have the ability to flex. All those things is causing the arm to be adducted and internally rotated and pronated, because the arm has lost its ability to supinate and flex. So supination and flexion of the arm is achieved by C5 and C6. So that's why that is going to be Erb's palsy. The next one is, let's see what the next example says. The next example says a newborn is delivered in a breech position. What is breech position? Breech position is a delivery where the baby comes out with legs first. Okay, those are horrible diagram of the leg, but imagine this is the baby. So when the baby comes out, leg first, that is the breech position. And in breech position, you can see how it's very likely that you're going to have the arm hyperextended, because the legs and the body is coming out first, and sometimes you have to pull onto the baby to take the baby out, and that can cause the arms to go in a hyperextended position. So let's go back to the scenario again. So this is a newborn which is delivered in a breech position with a hyperextended arm. Physical exam shows unilateral loss of function of the intrinsic muscles. So what kind of palsy is this? In this case, since it's saying hyperextension of the arm, I can guarantee you that this is Klumpke'S, because I know Klumpke'S has to do with C8 to T1, and Klumpke is usually affected when the arm is hyperextended. The key word in this case is hyperextension of the arm.